On this computer. Great. So I record this meeting, which it's going to be put onto our website. We also repurpose the content of this meeting in many, many different ways. Here's the thing. Most realtors come to me and say that they don't have enough content. After today's meeting, I don't want anyone to tell me that again. There's just so much content out there, and I'm going to take what's being recorded today and repurpose it in 5 or 6 different ways to 5 or 6 very different audiences, and you'll be able to see just how to use that. So we're going to talk about Claude and Claude projects. Has anyone heard of DeepSeek? Probably not. DeepSeek is the ChatGPT in China. It's a Chinese program, remarkable skills. I'm sure they're spying on me as well. I'll show you some of the questions that I ask. I threw in some questions like, you know, what is TikTok China's plan to dominate the United States? And it stopped answering me in English and immediately put the stuff up in Chinese. No, China has nothing to do with this. It never did this. It never did. You could tell by the AI got pissed at me. The fact that it got pissed at me said an awful lot. So we're going to show DeepSeek. I think it's interesting. Anyone here use Gmail? Show of hands real quickly. Anyone? A couple? Okay. You might have noticed that Gemini is now in your Gmail, and that should be available to all of you. We'll talk about things we could do there. Some of you might have heard of CapCut. We're going to talk about that. And finally, a lot of you are already using Otter and other note-taking tools. One of the things that I love to do with Otter, as I said, this meeting is being transcribed, is take that meeting, take the word for word along with one of my prompts, put that into ChatGPT or Claude or any one of these tools, and then make a blog post out of what's already been recorded. So, or be able to manipulate the data. So it really is all about leverage, guys. That's what I'm trying to get across in these meetings. Thank you, Daniel, for constantly putting this stuff up. And let's just get right down to it here. Any questions before we get started? Questions, thoughts? Avez-vous compris? Anyone listening? Maybe? Kind of, sort of? Rebecca? No? Linda? Maybe? Rebecca, where are you in from? You look like a nice person. You're muted, I think. Yeah? No? Okay, move on. Is that like a go away, leave me alone, I never asked for this shit? Okay, yeah, okay. Rebecca, you're welcome to jump in at any point. Let's get started right here. I'm going to share my screen, and we'll take a look at some of the stuff that's ChatGPT. First stop, we'll take a look at Claude. This is what Claude looks like. It's by a company called Anthropic. You could see it at Claude.ai. Daniel, of course, will be putting up links to things. And one of the things that Claude has, which I think is wicked cool, is something called projects. Now here, just like you could say to Claude, same thing with ChatGPT, dear Bob, nice to see you. I hope you liked the modern house on Main Street. Can we meet so you can buy it? Okay, really lousy email, right? And I could say, please correct and expand. Okay, this is something that should be familiar to most of you who are using AI. I know I'm doing this, and it will see that just like ChatGPT, it comes up with its own answers to this. I hope this letter finds you well. I want to follow up with you a brief conversation, open living concept, and you could correct any one of those things. One of the things that I want you to see with Claude is that when it does this, it makes its own, what they call artifact, a letter on the side here, and you could take it, you know, it tells you why it thinks it was good. It uses a more formal tone, it expands upon it, and you could then work with this to make it much more cogent and understandable for you. You're going to be able to manipulate that document using it this way. Okay, that's Claude. Let me just show you one thing it has that you really ought to find wicked cool, and that is projects. Now, I live in a gated country club community. I like to say I'm the poorest guy in the richest neighborhood, which makes me pretty well off. But it's a great place to sell real estate, I'll tell you that. 728 of the most fabulous homes, and they always have something going on as far as the rules or the financial statements. And the most recent 3 ones I've actually uploaded into this to have a knowledge base. So here, I'll turn the video off for a second. So in other words, you're going to be able to take customized content in the form of PDF forms, Excel forms, or whatever you want, and train that one little section, or they call it a project, within Claude to be able to, react to that. So in other words, it's kind of becoming an LLM just for very specified information. Let me show you what I could do with it here. So here's what could Claude help? Okay, based on what was uploaded, can you tell me, can you give me a summary of the club's financials up to the last statement you have? Now, keep in mind, I put this in a while ago. I mean, just not today. A while ago could be yesterday or whenever it was. But now it's actually pondering based on the information. It's giving me their actual overview, and it actually generates it again as a artifact. So it goes on with the assets, the liabilities, the long-term liabilities, members' equity, revenue year to date, total revenue less than 20 million, net expenses. Obviously, that's very good to have expenses less than the revenue. And it gives you an ability to run those financials and take a look at what is really happening within the club based on my dumping all of the club's financials in there. In other words, at some point, the president of the club or one of the auditors is going to say to everyone, well, it's very healthy. Here are the aspects of this. When they actually make a statement like that, and every club does, the next thing I could do is send a letter into Claude saying, this is what the financial advisor, the CFO, or whatever it is within the club has said about this. From what I've uploaded, what the financials are like. What questions can I ask him, or how can I challenge this? Is there anything that I could bring up with this person? And boom, suddenly I did this with people. They thought I hired an auditor. They thought that I really had all this information based on the fact that I just took their information, dumped it in, and was able to create its own unique project, which will remain in projects forever. I do that obviously with my clients as well, with my own accounting issues. With Python, I'm learning computer programming right now, and I have my travel details. I'm able to put all of the stuff into Claude and have it be basically my partner in AI. So let me stop that for a second. Questions so far? I know I'm going through this pretty quickly. I'm just trying to whet your appetite to get you to use some of these things. I stand by it. Claude at this point is more powerful. Go ahead, Bruce, please. And just tell everyone once again who you are and where you are, because people have just come into the meeting.
Right on. Bruce Carley, Bittinger Team Realtor Group out of Canton, Michigan. We have most of our team documents in Google Drive. Can you share that with teams? So you have your profile in Claude, and would I be able to dump all my Google Drive policies and procedures, everything that we do for our real estate group, for our team to be able to kind of do a quick search for what's in there and find out that document that they need?
Yes, the short answer is you could do something like that, but we're going to get to, have you used Gemini yet?
Briefly. I mean, I'm just starting. I've only been scratching the surface.
Perfect. That's why you're here. That's why everyone's here. And by the way, you're a winner for asking the question. I want everyone to feel comfortable asking questions here. So I think that's great. The short answer is Gemini is the ChatGPT of Google. It is something that you're going to be able to utilize and be able to tap into and take a look at the forms. So we're going to get to that in just a minute. But yes, you can collaborate with teams. It can get expensive. The stuff that I showed you, the Claude that you just took a look at, is costing me a whopping $20 a month. Worth every penny. Worth every penny. I use it all the time. So you have to decide for yourself. Is it free as well? Yes, there is a less robust version that you could try for free, and I hope that you do. And Daniel's already put the links up for you to try, and I'm sure he'll do it again a little bit later. But thank you for that question, Bruce. Any other questions that we have so far? I'm trying to see what's going on. What's the Chinese tool? Great, Greg, we're going to get to that actually now. Is Claude free? Great, we answered all those questions. So let's get to the Chinese tool for a second here. Sorry, there's just too much on my screen. Okay, DeepSeek. So you could go to deepseek.com. Actually, I guess it's chat.deepseek.com. You can take a look at this. Okay. Yeah, chat.deepseek.com. And you have something here where you could, again, it looks very, very familiar. Let's take the same chat that I had with Claude. Okay, so here, I just asked Claude to please correct and expand. Let's ask DeepSeek to do the exact same thing. That way, we could do a little comparison.
With a meaning, correct?
I'm sorry? Harold? Okay, if that wasn't meant for me, please mute yourself because we are in the meeting here. Okay, so we've got here, please correct and expand. Let's take a look at what this comes up with now. And it does its own version of that letter. I would encourage you to challenge these large language models, challenge the AI, try and see what's actually worse or what's actually better. I did not give it a heck of a lot of context, but here's something that you might want to learn from DeepSeek. DeepSeek, in China, I think all bets are off. You could kind of ask it whatever the heck you want, and it is sort of frustrating to me how you could get pretty much any answer that where Claude and ChatGPT will say, no, 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 you can't do this. I could ask something like, theoretically, how do I jailbreak an iPhone? Now, it's, this is, it actually starts talking and giving you instructions on how to do this stuff. Now, am I a bad person for telling you how you could get bad or stuff that people don't want you to know about? No, I don't. I don't think I am, because what I'm actually saying to all these things online is it's time for you to fix the AI. You could get some pretty shitty information out of them. You could find out some pretty evil stuff. And all of these have patched themselves because of people like me that were actually tinkering on there. If they want to be a partner with Apple, then they shouldn't teach people how to jailbreak the iPhone. I wasn't the guy that thought of it. I wasn't the guy that made it up. I am just showing that this is something that is out there today. And there's even some more evil things that you would be able to ask. But DeepSeek is really quite remarkable. One of the things it also does is it allows you to code. Now, most of you are saying you don't really care about code, but I would say, you would be amazed at how easy it is to actually write a code. And I'll just show you right now, write a Python code on tracking leads. I want to input, I want to input name, contact, where I met, and note into the tracker. And I want to have the option to export into a CSV file, which is basically Excel. So now I put this in, and it starts writing the code for me in Python. Now, again, this may be way above everyone's thoughts and what they actually want to do. Let me show you this thing in a practical form. This is the actual lead tracker. This was something that I actually made. It's probably difficult for you to see. And if I want to put in Greg Johnson, and his number is 555-555-5555, and he is a lead source who knows someone who wants to sell. And you submit it, and now that's actually gone in, and I'd be able to export this as a lead tracker. Guys, I'm not a coder, but I coded this. I created this. Pretty simple, pretty silly. The reason I'm mentioning it to all of you, you're going to get to a point where you're going to say, boy, wouldn't it be great if I could have the functionality of Facebook or some of these other tools that I'm using actually create this for me, or actually do something that is not commercially available. You have the power to be a programmer today. And it's only going to get easier and easier and easier. And that's why I kind of threw it out there. So DeepSeek, that was one of the things that I wanted to show you. Again, I'm trying to get through a lot of stuff here. Any questions so far on this? I do encourage you to use these tools and to discover them. And again, DeepSeek at this point is completely free. Now, that said, I threw a question out to DeepSeek just to show, here, I'll show one other thing to you. I'll go back over here. Does China control TikTok? And does my information get used for China's purposes? How many people think we're going to get a censored answer out of that? How many people think that that's going to be okay? A couple of people. Let's take a look. Okay, this is real estate for fun and profit here. Let's take a look at what's going on. Let's see what it does. TikTok is known in social media. Chinese regulation, Chinese company is required to comply with. Okay, so it's giving me all these different answers. I'll tell you this: when I asked the question yesterday, it was pissed. It was saying all kinds of things, and it started answering me in Chinese and all of that. So, you know, again, if you're interested in global politics, as I am, and you're interested in what's going on, while TikTok operates globally and has taken steps to address data privacy, the fact that it is owned by Chinese and subject to Chinese law means that question about data control and potential use for Chinese purposes remain. Users should be aware of these issues. Okay, so it cleaned up its answer. Before that, I'm kind of impressed that they actually took the time to do it. Take time to play with these things. You could get interesting answers out of these tools if you do. Let me just move on. Again, feel free to jump in with questions as you have them. Okay, there's some my coding. Let's get to some fun stuff here. This is CapCut. Any of you ever hear of CapCut? Show of hands. Okay, Greg, I figured, Bruce, you should know it. Rebecca, hopefully. iPhone Harold Hines. Hi, Kenny. Okay, Dana, we got a bunch of you that are here. Let's take a look at this just briefly, because a lot of you have said to me, God, Ed, how do you produce and create such stuff? I don't know how to do that. The answer is I don't really know how to do it either, but I created this video just before our meeting for all of you, and let's take a look here. Proceed with English. It actually creates a project, and I'm able to put a whole load of things into this using this platform. I'm going to just shut the share down for a second because it does take up resources and take more time. Almost there, guys. Sorry about the delay. Feel free to jump in with questions as you have them. You can even brag about yourself if you'd like. Okay, here we go. So now we've got the video. And let's see what we got. So now a lot of you have said to me, how do you get your titles? So right now, this is just a demo for my mastermind group. I want to make a point that it is now 11:40 a.m. I am not looking at the camera right now, and we're going to see just how this could actually edit out and what it does to your eyes if you plan to do that, and the different features that CapCut has. Okay, so we have that. We could change aspect ratios. Again, it wasn't a very good setup in the first place, so it's not going to look as good if I do it as a YouTube video. You know, you need to stop and think through how you want these things actually set up. We can take a look at some of the effects here. And we could add sounds. So if we wanted to actually add music or sounds, we could do that. We could supersize the individual words. So if I want the word now supersized, that's a really, really big thing. If now was spelled wrong, we'd be able to edit that individual word. We could add words. We could do all sorts of stuff with this, I'm just trying to see, you could change the timing. And here's the thing, you could also change the language. So if we wanted to, let me go back. I'll take a look at this demo here. And here, I'm going to upload a video. I'm going to create something new here. Okay, let's say that we want something now. Select the spoken language in your video. Right now, it is in English. Let's see if we could do it in, let's see if we could do it in German. So now it's going to upload there, and it's actually going to translate me, albeit the last time I did this, it didn't sync very well with my mouth. Anybody remember when you were a kid, you know, you were homesick from school and you watched afternoon television? They had those Chinese movies where they were speaking English, but the lips were moving in Chinese, and they were, you know, anyway, that's what it kind of looks like at this point. It's getting better and better, though. And so I want all of you to definitely know about this and know about the tool. Again, questions so far? Let's see what we have here. Okay, did that come out? So right now, this is just a demo. Okay, I'm not sure what happened to the low for translation. Let me see here.
I think I might be able to help.
Oh yeah,
So
right. What did I do?
When you click that top one, it just was asking you what your original language was. If you go down to that second box, it says, what do you want to translate it into?
Where's that?
Go upload it again. Okay,
I see. We'll do that once again. Okay, guys, so you see, not ready for prime time. I'm showing you everything, warts and all.
Right, so there, that second box right down there. So click that back to English.
Yep. Thank you.
This is just a guess, and I think it's that second box you want to translate
this
to
one.
German.
This one?
I think so. I think so.
Translate captions only, dubbing. Here, we'll do the dubbing and captions. Great. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we'll just take a look here. It really is a global world. I've sent this to my friends who speak German. If I were really making this for business, I'd probably do it at a full shot, meaning the head to toe. The full shot is, Charlie Chaplin made the full shot famous because it was a full shot of the person. A medium shot is what you're seeing right now. A close-up is this. So that's what we're actually getting out of this. But let's see where we are. Takes another second. Greg, you having a good time? No? I can't hear you.
Always.
Always, okay.
I do have something to add on the translation from personal experience.
Sure.
I translated a video into Spanish. I don't speak Spanish except maybe, you know, thank you and bring me the check.
Okay.
And somebody watched it who spoke Spanish only and called me. And I was kind of stuck. I couldn't. So I've started, when I translate, I've started putting in there that I don't speak the language, but I will connect them with somebody that will. So,
yeah. It's I mean, you could post these things absolutely anywhere. You could have a virtual assistant put it together for you. I mean, in other words, every piece of content that you have can be replicated over and over and over again. Okay, let's take a look here and see if it actually worked this time. Spending more time on this than I wanted to. Okay, I think it did. Here we go.
Das ist gerade nur eine Demo für meine Mastermind-Gruppe. Ich möchte anmerken, dass es jetzt 11:40 Uhr hier ist.
Okay,
ich schaue gerade nicht in die Kamera und wir werden sehen, wie das tatsächlich herausgeschnitten werden kann und was es mit deinen Augen macht, wenn du das vorhast und welche verschiedenen Funktionen CapCut bietet.
Okay, so there we go. And it is my voice, by the way, if you noticed. Which is kind of cool. One other thing that you could do with CapCut, which I really, really love, is you could do a prompt to video. So you could actually create an AI script, write a welcome, and a script about the importance of having a hurricane plan if they want Edmund Bogen's hurricane prep guide. Please let us know and we will send to you. Okay, so there, now it's generating that script. And this is for the shy people who don't want to see themselves on video. Okay, I'm not even going to go through the script. And now we're going to pick somebody to actually be our avatar. Let's just see who looks. Let's use Emily. Emily looks like a realtor. Okay, and we could also pick the way we want. I'll do a very plain caption. And right now it's creating the project. So we'll talk about something else while that creates it. It's going to take the script. It's going to take the captions. It's going to take the avatar, the person that does not exist in the real world, and then make a video for you guys to watch. Pretty wicked cool. Pretty wicked cool. And it's really based on what you might find that's going on in the world today. You could go online and take a story, as I oftentimes do. I go to Perplexity. Has everyone been to Perplexity? I wasn't planning on showing Perplexity today. We talked about it at the last minute. Let me do it very briefly, because I think it's that important. Here we go to Perplexity. Perplexity you could go to, and again, go to page. And one of the things that I could say is take a look at the biggest real estate headlines since July 11th, 2024, and summarize. So now it's going to take that, and pretty remarkably fast, it's going to actually make a series of blog posts, if you will. The input on tax rates, real estate stocks experienced significant surge July 11th as expected, interest rates cuts increase, blah, 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 blah. And it gives you the sources that it actually came from. I could actually take this little post and then go back to CapCut or go back to any one of the AIs and say, hey, look, AI, I want you to make a summary for the avatar, and then we can have that person do the story. In other words, you're using one AI to get the story, another AI to actually make the video for you. And then, of course, you could toss in some things that, hey, I'm Bruce, I'm a big shot, and I run this team, and this is why we think you need to know this. And you could start to put things in to plug your team. Let's go back to the other video and see if it was actually created at this point. Still working on it. It's going to take a little while. Okay, let's leave that for a couple minutes. The last thing I want to show you on here is something that you probably have already, which is Gemini. For those of you who have, let's just go into my spam folder here, so that way I could keep everything out. So this should look pretty familiar to you. If you have Gmail, if you look up, there's going to be this little star, Ask Gemini. Okay, you click on that and it opens up a little thing right here. And then this is where the fun stuff happens. So you could find a particular attachment, or look up something that might be in here. Like you could say, show all emails from a guy named Dean, and I'll put little quotes around him. And it's going to actually not only summarize the stuff for you, but now it's got all these things based on what they all say. What is Dean trying to do or sell? And now it could actually dig into basically the content of what's going out there. And it does take a little bit more time than I would like than these other LLMs, but hell, you're getting it now. There are two people named Dean. Dean Brenner, Dean. So okay, it wants me to be Dean Bankhauser. Tell me, summarize what this guy is all about. So you could take a look, again, I'm just coming up with, obviously it's spam. It's in my spam folder. I don't know who the hell this guy is, but it's going to give you some type of context. And again, I don't want to go into my personal email and do it right now. So I figured this would be a little bit better. Sends newsletters about artificial intelligence. These newsletters include a wide variety of information on AI, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's basically what they communicated from him. But I think it was Greg who had the question before. What about your Google Drive? And yes, indeed, you have the ability to search the drive. If you have the drive as a team, a Google Drive is like a Dropbox where you could put various information into it and be able to sort through and go through all of the documents that you might have put in here, and you could have a file summarized. You could summarize a topic. You could do all kinds of wicked cool things through your drive. So I think all of this is something for you to see. Again, I'm just trying to whet your appetite and get you to go on your own to these tools. This thing's still at 59%. It's obviously taking a while to produce that, but let's see if we could open it up to some questions here. Bruce, thoughts? Maybe? No?
Yeah, no questions, just a lot of thoughts. Yeah, no, I've got video ideas. Yeah, I need to start diving into this a little more.
Don't let these things overwhelm you. In other words, just take a moment to learn something. You're going to be a little bit better off having done it. If you go into, for example, some of you, and I'll show, this is probably a good time to do it. If you take a look at Rain Nation, this is Otter, Otter.ai. This was the video transcript of the meeting we had last week. Let's take a look at today's meeting. Okay, so this is, where am I? A lot of you stuff here. Okay, so this is the mastermind right now. And if we scroll down, you could see that it's actually translating and transcribing what I have to say word for word. See that there, guys? Okay, so what does it mean? Who cares? Well, what we could do with this is pretty cool. What we could do, if I go back home here and take a look at the last meeting we had, the video marketing one, we could take a look at that meeting. I could, and I've created a thing, summarized transcript of the Rain Nation meeting. So I have created a prompt to summarize my meeting. I'll go into something like Claude or ChatGPT or DeepSeek or Gemini or pretty much anything. Let's just do Claude. And I'm asking it to essentially summarize the essence of what the meeting was about. And it says, it's supposed to tell me at this point that, yes, in fact, please go ahead and I understand. It tells me what it's going to do. Great. Now I'm going to go into this transcript. And I'm not going to take the whole thing just because I want to, we just have a certain amount of time here. But I'll take the first 18 minutes of it. And I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to put it into this. So it's taken, I gave it context with my prompt. I put this in here now. And lo and behold, here's the summary. So now it's going to summarize whatever was said along with key takeaways, actionable items, all sorts of stuff like this. Otter also has an iPhone app, so you could tape record a conversation with someone legally. I want to stress, you don't be secretive. You could interview someone and take it and then put it into Claude or one of these things, the transcript, and then boom, you've made a transcript of the actual meeting. And from here, you could go even further. You could say, please make this into a fun Facebook post to give advice. Please use emojis. My daughters love when I use emojis. Okay. So now it's going to once again, lights, camera, sell that house. Hey there, real estate rock stars, ready to make your marketing to the next level? Let's talk video. And it's doing, basically taking all the stuff that we talked about here and now repurposing that into content. And I could take this content, I could copy it, I could go to Facebook, and I'll go to the Rain Nation page because, you know, this is for the private members only. And I could put it in there and boom, I have a post. Congratulations, Mazel Tov, we put it up. So that's just one other thing that could go on with content. You know, we could go on with more of it and we certainly will. Let's go to the video one last time here and let's see if it actually created the, where was it? Projects, upload, dubbing. Where is the devil is this thing? Okay, I'm not sure exactly what happened here, because it really should be in here. That's a disappointment. Okay, I will figure this out and get a get the video out to you guys, but I will, you know, right now show you what the outcome is. I'm doing something wrong here. Don't adjust your television set. This is just Ed fucking something up, so sorry about that. Let's take a look here. Okay, so this was the same woman before. This is the output of what comes out, and I will get the original one.
Real estate coaching. Being in this industry, it's so important to have the right support system and structure in place. That's why I highly recommend checking out Edmund Bogen's coaching program, Rain Nation. Edmund and his team provide incredible outside coaching, mentorship, and they'll even handle your marketing for you. Trust me, if you're in real estate, you owe it to yourself to get this kind of comprehensive support. It can really take your business to that next level. So don't hesitate, call Edmund today. Hey there, I wanted to talk to you about real estate coaching.
Okay, so that's the output. You just saw it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. The script was just an idea, went into the AI. The music was also AI generated. The avatar does not exist in the real world. Most of you would think that that's a real woman. It is not. She does not exist. She's just what the computer actually made up as a human being. So there's some stuff. Be careful what you see and be careful what you comment on. I had somebody send me some quotes about, and I get this all the time about Trump and Biden and this and that. And here's the thing, all of them are full of crap. And all the stuff that we're seeing right now, you could dig into whatever you want to believe and whatever is actually going out there, but you're only getting a portion of the story. It doesn't matter whether you're for one or the other. You have been manipulated. And when I see people repurposing stuff that I know is fake, it suddenly takes the entire argument away from them. You love whoever you want to love. I'm all for that. But for goodness sakes, don't go and repurpose stuff that just doesn't exist. You might as well put Cinderella up and say that you've got a problem with stepmothers. Okay, I mean, you could do something like that. To me, it's the exact same thing. I love my stepmother. She's a lovely lady. There's nothing wrong with her. Okay, but it's the same comparison. So just be very careful with all of that, and we'll go on. God, we got people that are upside down here. We got people that are sideways here. This is all very fun. Questions. This was a lot of stuff. We will have this video on the blog. Daniel, please make sure it goes on the blog along with other places. We will have the transcript of this, the summarized transcript. If any of you are interested in learning about my coaching program, it's affordable. It's not locking you in on a long-term basis. We have it for teams as well. And finally, I have a video course that's going to be coming up in August. You could definitely subscribe to that only. And we will have 6 different weeks where at the end of it, you will have a toolbox and videos that you're going to be able to use for your own purposes. And you're going to be able to do that for your own marketing. My objective in this group is that you come here and you make money. That's really, you know, there should be someone who does something about realtor safety. I think it's really important. It's not what I do. What I do is I work with people to be able to help them make money. And we also bring Daniel into every one of these meetings. When I meet with people one-on-one, we will do much of the marketing for you. He's done the skip tracing and he's gotten data for you. We will format and send the emails out for you. And we'll do as much or as little as you want. So if you're interested in learning more, definitely give me a buzz. Last moment of the meeting, I'd like to call wants, needs, and brags. Now's the time to tell us about something that you want, something that you may need, and something that you'd like to brag about. It could be that your kid graduated high school, or it could be that you're involved in some type of charity. So long as it's not something that's some white supremacist group that wants to kill the world, I'll endorse almost any charity. So anybody want to throw something out there for us now? Anyone want to share? Rebecca, you've been smiling this whole time. You want to share anything? No, maybe, kind of, sort of. And you're still muted. You said can't unmute. You don't know how. Okay, it's a little button on the left, I think. But we'll see. Harry, Dana, Eileen, Aurora. Anyone else want to jump in and throw something out there? Now's the time to do it.
Yeah, I'd like to do so.
Who's that?
Harold, Council for Education.
Okay, it's great.
I run a nonprofit organization based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. We did an audit of a program participation agreement between the federal government and the state. We found anomalies. We reported the anomalies to the U.S. Department of Education. They issued a rule in October that goes into effect on July the 1st. All it says is the states have to be financially accountable, but unfortunately, the rule only goes into effect on July the 1st. So any past discretions or malfeasance that the state may have profited from, we believe that the state of California's activities significantly increased the number of bankruptcies in the state of California. And so I'm working with an attorney and with the Small Business Development Center to submit a creditor agreement that will allow for a stay in the bankruptcy proceedings in order to allow my organizations to move forward in the Ninth Circuit to get a what they call a writ of mandamus, or an opinion in order that the state of California is accountable.
Good.
So my interest in attending this seminar is I wanted to find out is how I can use your services to leverage reciprocity with potential parties that have filed bankruptcy procedures, and how my organization can approach them. Thank you.
Well, look, we help in marketing. It might go a bit beyond what I'm doing, but we could certainly catch up afterwards. If it's something that I could help you with, I'd love to do it. If it's something that I can't, I could probably throw you in the right direction. Again, I stay down the narrow path mostly of real estate sales because what works for me here in Boca Raton, Florida, is going to work for somebody in Los Angeles or Las Vegas or New Jersey. So, but we could definitely catch up after if you have the time. And thank you for sharing, and congratulations on moving forward. I know moving legislation is not the easiest thing, so good for you.
Well, it's not legislation; it's actually a federal rule.
Oh, but you get the point that you're doing more than most, so that's a good thing.
Okay, I'll post my email address in the chat. Thanks.
Great, and Daniel, grab that for me if you don't mind. Okay, last moment. Anyone else have some thoughts? Our next meeting is going to be on Wednesday, 9 a.m. I would encourage you to subscribe to Rain Nation. We are a monthly subscription service. The first 30 days is free. Daniel, do you have the link? If you have it, that would be great. Yeah, so he just posted it there. If you'd like to sign up, the first 30 days is free, and then after that, it's $30 a month. Cancel at any time. And then beyond that, many of you are coming to me for coaching. I would love to speak with all of you about all of this. Again, the information, definitely email Daniel at Bogen Homes, and he'll put that out to all of you as well. I'm really delighted that all of you were able to make it today. It's going to be a great weekend. Great opportunity to go out. There's a lot of people that need to buy and sell houses. Damn it, go make some money. Making money is one of my 3 favorite things. Daniel knows that. Okay, so that's, don't ask me what the other 2 are. Anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. Good to see everyone. And I hope to see you next time for another exciting episode of Rain Nation. Thank you.
17.
Bye-bye.